now on WKRG News 5.
The body of Blue Angels Captain Jeff Coos heads out of Tennessee as the investigation into the crash that killed him continues. And a fire snarls traffic on a busy beach morning and wrecks a Gulf Shores business.
We're tracking the tropics this morning. Could we see another named storm today? I'll have that forecast ahead.
From WKRG News 5, the Gulf Coast news leader. The news starts now.
Good morning. Thanks for getting up with News 5 this morning, Sunday. I'm Chad Petrie. I don't know who's watching, but I'm glad you are. First on 5, there's a little trouble in the tropics, but will it make trouble here? For more on that, let's head over to Melissa Constanzer.
That's right. We're actually watching right near the Yucatan Peninsula and in just to the southwest of Cuba here, this area of clouds. It's slowly shifting off towards the west, and it's actually going to merge up with the storm system that's currently over us. It won't mean a whole lot of rainfall for us, but it is expected to head off towards Florida and then continue to move out into the Atlantic. As it does so, it could actually become Colin, our next named storm, maybe tropical depression or tropical storm. I'll have more on this forecast and how it could be impacting our weekend forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Melissa. The body of Navy Blue Angels Marine Captain Jeff Coos is in Dover Air Force Base in Delaware this morning at the Charles C. Carson Center for Mortuary Affairs. Coos was killed Thursday when his jet crashed in Smyrna, Tennessee during a training flight. The people of Smyrna honored Coos yesterday when they heard there would be a motorcade taking his body to the airport to be transported to Dover. They lined the streets in the rain to pay their respects as the hearse drove by.
I saw it go down, and I just felt connected in a way, just seeing that and experiencing that, and just, he was a hero. I can't help but think of what could have happened.
More than a dozen police cars and official vehicles guided the hearse from Murfreesboro into Smyrna before Coos's body was loaded onto Fat Albert for the flight to Dover. Fat Albert is the Blue Angels support plane, a specially equipped C-130 transport. A GoFundMe page has been set up in support of Captain Jeff Coos's wife, Christina, and their two small children, 4-year-old Calvin and 1-year-old Sloan. More than $160,000 has been raised in about 24 hours. More than 2,100 people have donated. The account was set up by Coos's sister-in-law. Captain Coos was also honored at the Smyrna Air Show Saturday. One of the flight demonstration teams performed the Missing Man Flyby, a traditional formation to honor a fallen pilot. And another visual salute to Captain Coos, this one in Nashville, where the Korean Veterans Bridge has been lit up in blue and gold for the last 2 nights. Blue and gold, of course, are the colors of the Blue Angels. In the wake of Thursday's crash, a supervisor in San Francisco, though, wants to ban the Blue Angels from flying over his city. Blues are scheduled to perform there in October for Fleet Week, and Supervisor John Alvanos says he will introduce a resolution in August to keep the Blues from flying over the city. He says flying over San Francisco Bay would be fine, but he's concerned about what a crash into downtown San Francisco could mean. The resolution has a tough road to travel. A similar ban was introduced following a Blue Angels crash in South Carolina in 2007, but never made it out of committee. Back here on the Gulf Coast, things have calmed down in Gulf Shores after a massive fire gutted a furniture store Saturday. As News 5's Pat Peterson reports, the fire was so big and hot that Gulf Shores firefighters had to call for help from neighboring departments.
The fire at Beachside Furniture and Interiors on Highway 59 was powerful. Flames ripped through the roof of the building and tore through walls. Smoke could be seen for miles. Clouds of ash and soot turned the sunny afternoon sky into a layer of darkness blacker than midnight.
It's pretty mind-blowing. I mean, I haven't seen that big of a fire in a long time.
The fire overpowered the first crew responding from Gulf Shores. Urgent calls for backup went out to Foley, Oyster Bay, and Orange Beach.
This is a furniture store packed with all types of different materials that are hydrocarbon based, and they catch on fire, they burn quick, and it's a cliche, it is a hotter fire than normal, and it was moving quick.
Crews battled more than just the fire. The hot and humid June afternoon made fighting the fire even more dangerous.
But we're having to rotate our crews through to make sure they're hydrated and make sure that they don't get overheated and pass out, because you have the heat and the humidity, and you have the fire heat plus all the gear they're wearing. It gets pretty warm inside the gear. You can easily raise your core body temperature well above safe ranges in just a matter of minutes, which is why we try to let them work 5 or 6 minutes and rotate them when they're in this type of condition as soon as we have people available.
I can feel the heat from here. I mean, I'm still feeling it. I mean, the smoke, everything, it was crazy.
The intensity of this heat coming off the building that is on fire is crazy. I guarantee you it's at least 40 degrees hotter in front of this building.
Highway 59 was shut down in both directions. Traffic was backed up for miles for much of the afternoon. On the Baldwin County beat, Pat Peterson, News 5.
No one was hurt fighting the fire. The cause is still under investigation.
Now, Melissa Constanzer with First Alert Weather.
6:06, Melissa Constanza here with our first check of the weather. And I'll tell you, this morning, little rainy.
A little rainy. Did you hear the thunderstorms?
I didn't hear the thunderstorms because I sleep with earplugs, so I can get to bed early. But I did see rain. In fact, let me show you some video of my dash cam as we were going through Loxley. Now, this almost looks like a replay of yesterday from a little bit,
Looks a little wet.
But it was not as rainy, at least in this commute this morning, than it was yesterday. Yesterday, the showers and thunderstorms seemed to be a lot more intense. But today, though, are we expecting more intense rain today?
We will actually see probably more rain just within the next few hours. It's already still going on out there at this time. The radar scan showing, yeah, still a lot of activity, still some green, but it is tapering off. At least we're not seeing the heavy rain. We still have some moderate to light rain showers across much of the area. And it seems like that Interstate 65 corridor continues to be the area that gets a lot of the rainfall. This is where most of it has been streaming. So, of course, we're expecting more rain basically from anywhere, basically from Stockton on up through Monroeville, Evergreen, and even towards Atmore at this time. Flash flood watch in effect until 7 a.m. for Jackson County. So, again, keep in mind there is the threat for flooding. We're still watching more rain form in the Gulf here as it streams ashore. The good news is it looks like, at least for now, some of it has been dying down, but as we head into the afternoon, too, some of those could reinforce. So keep in mind, still a good chance of rain, 60% through much of the day. By the evening, things start to quiet down. However, we need to keep track of this forecast heading into the weekend because Monday now turning out to be a little bit wetter. I'll have more details on that in a few minutes.
Thank you, Melissa. And a lot of people around Fairhope waking up very, very sore this morning. More than 700 people hit the water and the road for the 12th annual Grand Man Triathlon. The big event packs the Fairhope Pier every time, and exhausted competitors were just happy to do it.
Support the Grand Man Triathlon. It's a great race. Support all local races because most local races are there for some kind of charity. So go ahead and pay the registration fee and enjoy it and support a local charity.
And in this case, the Mobile Baykeeper is one of the groups that keeps a portion of the money raised. Organizers say these events assist efforts to keep the bay clean for recreation. Now this is a big, bad alligator, and now he's internet famous. We'll tell you more about the Moss Boss a little bit later. Time now, 6:08 on this Sunday morning.
Dolphin Way Assisted Living, now open in Midtown.
Next week, it's hurricane season. The WKRG News 5 weather team gets you ready. What to take, where to go, and what you need to be doing right now before a storm hits.
None of us want to wait until the last minute to get ready for hurricane.
We'll be busting the most common hurricane myths and going through the checklist to get you prepared. Join us for Hurricane Hazard Get Ready next week at 7:30 only on WKRG News 5.
Speedy Cash is the name you can trust for delivering cash fast. Speedy Cash has competitive rates, fast, friendly service, and most importantly, they're state licensed. Relax. Speedy Cash has you covered.
Love that Speedy Cash.
Behold the beauty of Cheddar Falls, only at Golden Corral. Everything is better with cheddar, like crispy fried raviolis, golden brown corn dogs, crispy potato wedges, and more. All part of the endless buffet only at Golden Corral.
I belong to the Chamber because I believe it's the best networking facilitator in the area.
We belong to the Chamber because it helps you facilitate relationships, opens doors, and helps you grow your business.
I joined the Mobile Chamber because it was the right thing to do. And after being a member for a number of years, I realized how much I use their resources on a daily basis.
Believe in Mobile.
Belong to the Chamber.
Someone is murdered every 18 hours.
You can't stop that.
What if you could?
What you do?
We hear about people in danger. Gives us a chance to save a life.
Tonight at 11:35 on WKRG News 5. Supergirl. This fall, only on the CW55.
Warm buttermilk biscuit, savory sausage, and fluffy eggs. Enjoy the sausage biscuit with egg and crispy golden hash browns for just $2.50 at McDonald's.
With a title pawn from Speedy Cash, you can get it to $10,000 cash on the spot. Get the most cash out of your car and into your pocket. With Speedy Cash, you'll always get the most competitive rates. Keep your keys, keep your car, get your cash.
Love that Speedy Cash.
Wake up, and now around the web and around the world, and the Gulf Coast, too.
6:11 around the web, around the world. Melissa, and people still talking about the death of Muhammad Ali from overnight Friday into Saturday. I mean, this is something that dominated sports news coverage over the last 36 hours. And one of the things that always will stand out to me is the way he sold his fights and the way he talked to the cameras.
Yeah, that's what making this such a big deal. You mentioned sports coverage, but it's really just all news coverage as well.
I put together another montage of clips. We wanted to show you that this morning as well.
Last night, I had a dream. When I got to Africa, I had one hell of a rumble. I had to beat Tarzan's behind first for claiming to be the king in the jungle. I am the greatest fighter of all time. And when I hit you with a hard right hand, you will fall. I give you one more chance. Who's the greatest? You are. All right. I predict that when I meet Joe Frazier, this will be like a good amateur fighting a real professional. This will be like a kid out of the Olympics meeting the fastest heavyweight champion that ever lived. This will be no contest. For this fight, I've wrestled with alligators. I've tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning and put thunder in jail. You know I'm bad. I have murdered a rock. I injured a stone, and I hospitalized a brick. I'm so bad I make medicine sick. I'm so fast, man, I can run through a hurricane and don't get wet.
There's never anybody like Muhammad Ali. I don't think there'll be anybody since. There have been guys in sports that have kind of tried to emulate that fast-talking bravado. You see guys like Chael Sonnen from the UFC, Conor McGregor from the UFC as well. Not a lot of athletes embrace that salesmanship, that showmanship that you kind of need to sell yourself as a brand. And I wonder if there are any athletes out there that are going to be adopting that model now that Muhammad Ali has passed away.
I don't know. It's certainly a tough model to kind of recreate. As you said, it's hard to come up with those things. And I think what's cool about it is he kind of did that trash talking, I'm better than you, so classy, it seemed, because he made it rhyme, he made it fun, and he made it friendly words. So it was just kind of a cool thing, and that's why he made that brand.
And he could back it up. That's the other thing. A guy can trash talk, but if he's not good at the sport he's in, he's not going to make that kind of an impact. All right, another cool bit of video we wanted to show you this morning. Alligator getting worldwide attention after some golfers took video of it strolling across a Florida golf course. They call him the Moss Boss.
Yeah.
Really big.
People thought this was just like a person in a costume or something, like two people walking in there, because it was so big.
And it's, what, 15 feet long? That's what the estimate is at the Buffalo Creek Golf Course. creature's been around for a long time. It definitely does look like an old alligator. And this week, some people from around the world have really given it some additional attention. So that video that was posted online on YouTube and other social media sites, the course manager says that they've been getting calls from news organizations around the world, Scotland, Japan, Australia, just asking about this alligator. Now, they say this creature only makes occasional appearances. It's been seen lately because it's mating season, so of course it's going to be out and about.
How much do you think that weighs, out of curiosity?
It's got to be a couple 100 pounds. There are probably some gator hunters out there that are getting ready for gator season later in the year. They'll probably have a better idea, but a couple 100 pounds at least.
Yeah, it makes me just wonder how big gators can get. Do they ever stop growing, you know?
It's huge.
Ooh.
It's huge.
I'd be scared.
All right, another thing that you got to be scared of, weather-wise, organizers have suspended a rock festival in Western Germany after at least 71 people were injured in a storm overnight, Melissa.
Yeah, it was certainly a very busy setup there. You see all the people running. The chairman of the company says organizers are following orders from local authorities to put the festival on hold after more warnings of bad weather. The festival was held at a former airfield near Mendig, about 100 kilometers west of Frankfurt, Germany. Performers this year include Tenacious D and the Red Hot Chili Peppers, among others. Of course, this has been troublesome in Europe because they've actually had the flooding. We were talking about Friday, the flooding in Paris. They actually closed down the Louvre for a few days because they had to move the artwork and everything to higher ground. So it's certainly been some troublesome days there, and you got to know your lightning safety.
And for what we're expecting today, can we expect any severe weather or lightning out of the storms that might be rolling through our area today?
We'll certainly see lightning, but severe weather as far as hail, tornadoes, or wind, not very likely. We could have some gusty winds with the thunderstorms, but mostly just heavy rain, maybe some minor flooding. But of course, you got to be prepared for storms, not just storms, hurricane season. Got to be prepared for that too. We start off with a reminder for you,
yes.
Chad.
You're special.
Yes,
I'll be tuning in.
Special.
Well, I'll be
Tomorrow night.
DVRing it because I will be too late for me.
You can't stay up that late, but tomorrow night at 7:30, we are having our hurricane special. You can join the full weather team, Alan Seals, John Nodar, Thomas Gieboy, and myself, and we'll kind of take you through all the things that you may have forgot. This hurricane season, we've already had 2 storms, Alex, and this is what's left of Bonnie. It is just a remnant low. There's nothing going on with that. So we are now going to flip back on to the south, actually towards the Yucatan here, and that's where we're watching our next storm system fire up, and it could become the next named storm, Colin. Where does this go? Well, it's going to interact with the storms that are over our head, this front that's pushing through, and the models predict it to start to go north, but as this front pushes further to the east, it'll shift it more towards north central Florida or the Big Bend area, and then take it off out into the Atlantic as it goes further out. So it's not going to be a big concern for us, but we are going to continue tracking it through the next few days. Here you can see it spinning up as we head into this evening. Then as we go overnight tonight into tomorrow, this is again, it could become tropical depression or tropical storm Colin as it works its way into parts of north central Florida and then passes through sometime likely Monday night, early Tuesday morning. For us, though, we are concerned about the rain. Here's the recent radar scans, and you can see as it all moves, it's actually dying off a little bit this morning. I do think that'll change as we head through the next few hours. We'll see more showers, more thunderstorms start to build up, but keep in mind there's still some flash flood watches in effect off to our west, mostly until 7 a.m. although there could be other areas that could get some localized minor flooding from some of the heavy rain. More in the Gulf, still wrapping around. This is all part of a big front that's going to slowly creep through, and that's what's going to keep whatever tropical storm forms off to our east. However, the next few hours, we do want to note there is a chance for some gusty winds in some of these storms, mostly further off towards our east heading into the afternoon. Alpha Insurance cameras showing we are starting off with cloudy skies. Temperatures right now in the 70s. We're heading up into the mid-80s today. Another hot, sticky day with showers and thunderstorms likely. As we move through the forecast tonight, some scattered showers out there. Again, still some thunderstorms. I think the rain chances go down tonight. Tomorrow, around 40 to 50% for those showers and thunderstorms. We'll start to dry out heading into the middle and the late part of next week with temperatures near 90.
Thank you, Melissa. In the race for the White House, protests highlight Trump rallies while Clinton comes out swinging this week. We'll have more coming up. Time now, 6:19 on this Sunday morning.
On any given day, anything can happen. That's the beauty of morning television.
This is your eye-opener to this day.
CBS This Morning, weekdays.
There's nothing more important than your health.
But it's not always easy to find the answers you seek.
News 5 has partnered with leading health professionals to bring you a medical resource you can trust.
Just go to WKRG.com and click on Health Connections.
Community Hospice, a WKRG Health Connections partner.
Pools. If you've ever wanted a pool, now's the time to buy. Spa Manufacturers is having their pool inventory sale with prices like never before. Round pools, square pools, big pools. All pools are on sale now. Get that pool you've been dreaming of. Make the whole family happy. And Spa Manufacturers can have that pool installed by next week. Pools on sale now at Spa Manufacturers, Chickasaw and Gaucher.
Spa Manufacturers.
After a car wreck, demand Richard Mather. If you've been injured in a car accident, you need your lawyer to be two things. Someone you can talk to about your accident, and someone who will fight the insurance company to get the money you deserve. Nice to you, and tough on them. So give me a call today, and we'll get started today. If you've been injured in a car wreck, demand Richard Mather. The consultation is free, so call 432-2580.
If you have chronic low back pain, diabetes, IBS, or constipation, call the Center for Clinical Trials in Saraland at 251-341-7021. You may qualify for a clinical trial at no cost to you, and you may be compensated for expense and travel. Call now to make an appointment. If you have chronic low back pain, diabetes, IBS, or constipation, call 251-341-7021. That's 251-341-7021.
At Longhorn Steakhouse, we know there's nothing better than a steak and an ice-cold beer. If there was, we would have made this commercial about that. Longhorn's grilled tastes of summer, our new smoky pepper-crusted filet with shrimp, our new grilled Hawaiian salmon, and our famous outlaw ribeye. Tonight, only at Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak. For lunch, try our steakhouse burger or any steakhouse lunch combo starting at $7.
Bring on the competition. A fistful of crayons and a forecast full of yuck. Bring on soccer balls, winter blues, and barbecues. Bring it all on. You've got durable, affordable Olympic on your team. Bring on the competition.
WKRG News 5. Coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 5 this morning. We are just 2 days away from what some experts see as the finish line in the country's presidential primary. Voters in 6 states head to the polls Tuesday, but there's one state that's likely to matter the most. News 5 national correspondent Mark Meredith has a look at where things stand in the race for the White House.
Chaos in California. Donald Trump's campaign swing through San Jose brought out police, protesters, and problems in the streets. For Trump, the scene was all too familiar, but not enough to distract him from going after the one person likely to stop him from reaching the Oval Office.
I watched Hillary today. It was pathetic. It was pathetic.
On Thursday, Trump trashed Hillary Clinton's unusually sharp criticism of the billionaire, at one point Clinton calling into question Trump's mental capacity.
He is not just unprepared. He is temperamentally unfit.
The latest Quinnipiac University poll shows Clinton leading Trump in a national matchup, but not by much. The survey showing Clinton with 45% support to Trump's 41%.
Oh my God!
But the race to become the Democratic nominee isn't over, at least not yet. On Tuesday, 6 states, including California, New Jersey, and New Mexico, will hold primaries. Clinton hopes a win in New Jersey will give her enough delegates to clinch the nomination, though, once and for all.
Senator Bernie Sanders is betting big he'll win in California. A loss for Clinton there would, of course, be a disappointment, but it wouldn't do anything to change the math or stop her from getting the nomination next month. Reporting in Washington, I'm Mark Meredith, News 5.
And firefighters continue to battle brush fires across parts of Southern California. This is one of several fires that erupted Saturday in the Calabasas and the West Hills area. Authorities say many homes are threatened. About 5,000 people were told to leave. The cause of the fire is not clear, but there are reports it started when a car slammed into a power pole and knocked down some power lines. Hurricane season is here, and if a storm nears, you may need to evacuate. Don Powell from the Alabama Department of Transportation tells us something that you have to keep in mind.
If we do have a storm coming and there is a lot of people trying to evacuate or a mandatory type evacuation, you know, I-65 and the 2 lanes can only carry so much traffic. And then you have people sitting on the road potentially in the storm, and we don't want that.
And it's simple math. Have you ever thought about how many more people live along the Gulf Coast since one of the last big evacuations in 2004? Join the News 5 weather team Monday night at 7:30 for Hurricane Hazard as we try and get you ready for hurricane season. And it was supposed to be a thunderous weekend for the Blue Angels. Coming up later, we'll show you how the air show in Smyrna, Tennessee honored the fallen Blue Angel. Time now, 6:25 on this Sunday morning.
WKRG News 5. Coverage you can count on.
If you're injured in a car accident, your whole life can come apart. There are a lot of pieces to deal with after a car accident. Medical bills, insurance, even your job. At Long & Long, we want to help you put the pieces back together. We're a family-run law firm. When working on your case, your family too. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 432-HURT.
We'll protect you like family.
When hurt in a car accident, don't wait long. Call Long & Long Local Injury Lawyers at 432-HURT.
Chevrolet is proud to be the most awarded car company over the last year. And right now is the best time to drive one home during Lou Saab Milton Chevy's massive Memorial Day sales event. Right now at Milton Chevy, find your bonus tag and get a total value of $9,000 on a Silverado Double Cab All-Star. You save $9,000. Our inventory is large and the savings are huge during the massive Memorial Day savings event going on now.
At Lou Saab's Milton Chevy.
Be a good sport. We've heard that all our lives, but what does that mean? Doing the right thing, going the extra mile, not just in sports, but in life. We are looking for stories of athletes and people that are good sports, those who have helped mentored or gone out of their way to be helpful to someone or their community. Send your good sports story to goodsport@WKRG.com.
Good Sport is brought to you by Green & Phillips Injury Lawyers, always doing the right thing for you.
Hi, I'm Michelle Obama.
And I'm Jill Biden.
Our men and women in uniform represent the very best our country has to offer. And we know that in communities across America, when our troops are called to serve, their families serve too.
They're our neighbors, our colleagues, our children's classmates. Their parents and spouses working to advance their careers, even as they move from city to city. They're teenagers striving for the honor roll, even though dad or mom may be serving across an ocean.
And time and again, our troops and their families have stepped up when our country has called. Now it's our turn to give back.
Whether you're a business leader, a teacher, or a next-door neighbor, each of us can show our appreciation for everything that these families do. You can start by visiting joiningforces.gov to see how you can get involved at work, school, or in your community.
So let's join forces. Together we can serve our heroes as well as they've served us.
Now, Melissa Constanzer with First Alert Weather.
Live look at the radar, and yes, lots of green out there. Notice most of the cloud-to-ground lightning or the stronger thunderstorms off to our east, more towards Dothan and Panama City, but we are still watching basically moderate to light showers work through the area. I do think we see a little bit more of this as we head into the afternoon. Models may be underdoing it, but still around a 40 to 60% chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms through about the middle of the afternoon. Then this evening, they die down overnight, and tomorrow we'll wake up with some clouds, maybe a few pockets of sun and just a couple sprinkles. However, more rain is back in the forecast heading into tomorrow. Today's highs in the mid-80s, showers and thunderstorms out there with a south breeze. If you're out on the beaches, of course, those rip current risks back to moderate, so make sure you're paying attention not just for the lightning but also for those rip current risks out there. Today's extended outlook showing the next few days here we do have those showers and thunderstorms, but will be dry by Tuesday.
Thank you, Melissa. Federal authorities still investigating the crash of the Thunderbird that went down on Friday. We'll have more coming up. Time now, just about 6:30 on this Sunday morning.
WKRG News 5. Coverage you can count on.
At Hillshire Farm, spice is the spice of life. That's why our craftsmen season every sausage perfectly, so you can coax out great flavor effortlessly. Hillshire Farm, because it's worth doing right.
Welcome to Foley, a friendly, laid-back coastal community. You'll find great shopping with a variety that includes popular name brands at the outlet center, small, locally owned stores, and a quaint, historic downtown. Enjoy delicious meals in one of over 70 restaurants where you can enjoy dishes that range from southern barbecue to Alabama seafood. You'll find lots to do. Visit Foley today.
Hey folks, with these uncertain times in our world's economy, where do you go to buy gold and silver and collectibles? For over 50 years, Loop Coin has led the Gulf Coast in your buying and selling needs. 90% silver coins, silver bars, silver and gold, American Eagle coins, all in stock. Come see us at the corner of Government and Azalea in the Skyline Shopping Center or online at loopcoins.com. Visit us today at Loop Coin. We sell it all.
After a car wreck, demand Richard Mather. If you've been injured in a car accident, you need your lawyer to be two things: someone you can talk to about your accident, and someone who will fight the insurance company to get the money you deserve. Nice to you and tough on them. So give me a call today, and we'll get started today. If you've been injured in a car wreck, demand Richard Mather. The consultation is free, so call 432-2580.
You could spend your dollar on this, or you can spend it on this. You could spend your buck on this, or you can spend it on this. This, or this. This, or any of these 10 delicious items on Taco Bell's new Dollar Morning Value Menu, each for just $1. The new Dollar Morning Value Menu at Taco Bell. It's not even fair.
Connect with us on Facebook to get news and alerts to stay informed all day.
Good morning to you, Gulf Coast. Here's a quick look outside. One of our News 5 HD Sky cameras taking a look at the EPF Carson City, sitting out there on the Mobile riverfront this morning. Thank you so very much for joining us this morning. I'm Chad Petrie, and updating our top story, the body of Navy Blue Angels Marine Captain Jeff Coos is in Dover Air Force Base in Delaware this morning. He was taken to the Charles C. Carson Center for Mortuary Affairs. Coos was killed Thursday when his jet crashed in Smyrna, Tennessee during a training flight exercise. The people of Smyrna honored Coos yesterday by standing in the rain as the hearse carrying his body was escorted to the airport. There it was loaded onto Fat Albert, the Blue Angels support plane, and flown to Dover. The plane, the Blue Angels have suspended their flight schedule as the investigation into that crash continues. Captain Coos was honored at the Smyrna Air Show Saturday by one of the flight demonstration teams performing the Missing Man Flyby. It's a traditional formation to honor a fallen pilot. Although the Blues canceled their performance, the Smyrna Air Show went on. There's no word yet on when the Blue Angels will continue their season. Their next scheduled performance is next weekend in Syracuse, New York. The outpouring of support for Captain Jeff Coos has been phenomenal. His sister-in-law set up a GoFundMe account in support of Coos's wife, Christina, and their two small children, 4-year-old Calvin and 1-year-old Sloan. It's now up to $163,000, and that's what they've raised so far. More than 2,100 people have donated. Overshadowed by the Blue Angels crash was the crash of an Air Force Thunderbird on the same day. The Thunderbirds had just done a flyby at the Air Force Academy graduation, and they were on a final approach to Colorado Springs Airport when that airplane crashed in a field about 5 miles short of the runway. The pilot reported he had an issue with his aircraft. He didn't say what, and he then steered away from any populated areas before ejecting safely. No one on the ground was hurt. Investigators were back at the scene yesterday going over the wreckage of the F-16 Eagle. The Thunderbirds have suspended their season indefinitely pending this investigation. Back here at home, investigators are trying to determine what caused a fire that destroyed a Gulf Shores furniture store. Flames ripped through the roof of beachside furniture and interiors. The smoke could be seen for miles. The fire overpowered the first crew responding from Gulf Shores. Urgent calls for backup went out to Foley and Orange Beach, and crews battled more than just the fire. The hot and humid weather made fighting the fire even more dangerous.
We're having to rotate our crews through to make sure they're hydrated and make sure that they don't get overheated and pass out, because you have the heat and the humidity, and you have the fire heat plus all the gear they're wearing. It gets pretty warm inside the gear. You can easily raise your core body temperature well above safe ranges in just a matter of minutes, which is why we try to let them work 5 or 6 minutes and rotate them when they're in this type of condition as soon as we have people available.
Highway 59 was closed in both directions for much of Saturday afternoon. Traffic, of course, backed up for miles. Fortunately, there were no reports of anyone being hurt. Some encouraging news about the economy. Panasonic Avionics will open an office at the Mobile Brookley Aeroplex. The corporation is known for making in-flight entertainment for passenger jets. No word yet on how many jobs will be available, but this is the second company to announce plans at Brookley this year.
Now, Melissa Constanzer with First Alert Weather.
2016, and we are in hurricane season, so get set for these storms. Of course, Alex and Bonnie already formed. Bonnie now disintegrated, but we could actually see Colin coming soon, unfortunately. So that means you want to make sure you're always ready. And in fact, we have a special Monday evening to watch for you tomorrow night at 7:30. Stay tuned to WKRG, and we'll help you prepare for hurricane season. What was left of Bonnie? I mentioned it. It's far out to sea. This is a post-tropical system, so all we have is spinning clouds. We don't have any thunderstorms to really make it seem like it's actually still a tropical system. So there's nothing going on with that. But now we got to head off far to the south and west, and you look at the Yucatan here. Look at all these storms spinning up. This could be our next organization of a storm. Hasn't completely formed and gotten itself together, but once it does, if it does, which it's likely to, it could actually become Colin. Most likely a tropical depression or a tropical storm. We're not talking hurricane, but it will venture north. However, the front that's coming through our area is going to push it off towards the east, thankfully making it miss us. However, we will watch it track into likely north central Florida before it works its way out off into the Atlantic. Models in pretty good agreement with this, so not fearing much here along the Gulf Coast. But we're watching that spin up here. This is Sunday this afternoon as the forecast goes through. It continues to spin through the Gulf, gradually working its way to the north and east, and then probably coming into the Florida area sometime late Monday night into Tuesday morning. Closer to home, this was the view yesterday. Kristen Smith in Tillman's Corner, and capturing, yes, a lot of clouds. And if you have any of your photos, send them into WKRG.com. Some of those heavy rain storms really made a mess on the roadways, so keep an eye for minor flooding. Right now, it seems like the rain lightening up a bit, mostly just light greens here, which means moderate to light rainfall across the area. We are watching, though, a heavier cell that will probably likely go in towards the Fort Morgan Peninsula Gulf Shores area in the next hour or so. Flash flood watch lasting until 7 a.m. for areas off towards the west, so that's a few more minutes that will last. But I think everyone wants to be on alert for minor flooding today. That's really going to be our only chance for anything as far as weather's concerned that we could be worried about. Again, the rainfall fairly widespread. This will continue through the morning, midday, early afternoon, then start to taper down as we head through the evening hours. Right now, Alpha Sky Camera showing off in the distance Bel Air Mall everything quiet, just a lot of cloud cover, no rain at the current time. 70s are the numbers to have across the southeast. 73 in Birmingham, 75 in Tallahassee, 70 in Mobile, 74 in New Orleans, who actually had record rainfall yesterday, as did Pensacola. Pensacola just shy of 3 inches yesterday. Right now, currently, again, in the 70s, closer to home. As we look at the forecast through the next few hours here, we're seeing that last wave of moisture kind of stream out here. I do think it will linger on through the afternoon. We'll have some of those pop-up thunderstorms continuing. Overnight, though, things will quiet down. There's still a rain chance, but it's not as likely. And as we head into tomorrow morning, it doesn't seem too bad. We will get more rain, though, tomorrow afternoon. Today's forecast in the mid-80s, showers and thunderstorms possible with that south breeze, and again, a small chance for showers and thunderstorms tonight, around 30 to 40%. As we move through that extended forecast, I keep the rain at 50% tomorrow. It's largely going to be in the afternoon. By Tuesday, though, we should dry out back into the 80s and, yes, even 90s. Yeah, we're heading the 90s again. Lots of sun. So this will be good for us because we should get a very good dry break heading through Wednesday and Thursday. And that means hello summer once again. I don't think we see a real next chance for rain sometime until Friday or Saturday, but that would be those summertime thunderstorms that we saw like last week.
And if this storm spools up into Collin, when could we expect to see it here? And what's the worst that could happen?
We shouldn't see it here. We won't really get anything here. The rain that we're already set to get Monday might be a little bit heavier than what we originally thought. The big concern, though, will be rip currents. They'll be a little stronger, so not a great day to go swimming in the Gulf on Monday.
All right, we'll keep an eye out for it. Thank you so very much, Melissa. And coming up, Danny Lifford gets his mind in the gutter to pick your gutters. Well, maybe not that much. Ask Danny is next. Time now, 6:40 on this Sunday morning.
Monday at 7:30, a News 5 special program. Hurricane hazard, get ready. Join the First Alert Storm Team as we help you prepare for the season. We'll cover our past, the current state of forecasting, evacuation contraflow, insurance rules, pet tips, and we'll separate fact from myth. That's Monday evening at 7:30 on News 5.
WKRG News 5 alerting you when news is happening.
Baldwin Denture Center proudly offers one-day denture service. Stop whistling Dixie. We have affordable prices so you save money. Arrive in the morning and leave that afternoon with your new dentures. Not all dentures are created equal. Feel the difference. For fast, affordable care, call Baldwin Denture Center.
I'm like a boxer in a ring, a small boxer. You don't expect much, and then wham! I hit him with huge, creamy goodness. All right, round 2. Bring it, girlfriend.
Rich, creamy, 100% natural cheese. Mini Baby Bell.
Snag a little bigger.
I was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. I've always had a goatee, and now I don't. And you lose a lot of things. You know, I didn't just lose my hair. Going through treatment, you can't be as active, and it's hard when you come home and, you know, Daddy, can you get on the floor and play with me today? And, you know, unfortunately, some days it's Daddy needs to go rest. I started smoking when I was 14 years old.
Learn more about the effects at thefactsnow.com.
You know, when I think about Pam Pittman, it's hard for me to think about Pam Pittman because to me, she's Miss Pam. And why she's Miss Pam is because when I was a sophomore in high school and started working here, she took care of us. And it really was just an honor to see her work ethic, the passion she had in her role, and just how she mastered what she did. And she always had a pleasant attitude, and I thank you, Miss Pam, for everything you taught me. We honor you, we love you, and here's to you, Miss Pam.
I'm Pam Pittman, and I've been with Joe Bullard now going on 25 years. When I graduated from McGill, Tulane in '80, my dad's brother had passed away. My daddy needed me, so I went to work down there, and it was just the 3 of us, but Daddy had, everything he did gave it 100%. You know, you always treated people the way that you would want to be treated. I'm very grateful that I got that work ethic. That's probably one of the things I'm most proud of. And both of my kids have it, which is, I love. My son that's 30, he's an executive chef down in Fort Myers, Florida. And one of his bosses one day asked me, he's like, you have a work ethic like I've never seen before. You know, where do you get that? He said, my mom. So that made me proud. My name is Pam Pittman. I've been here going on 25 years, and I am Joe Bullard.
Baldwin Denture Center proudly offers one-day denture service. Stop whistling Dixie. We have affordable prices so you save money. Arrive in the morning and leave that afternoon with your new dentures. Not all dentures are created equal. Feel the difference. For fast, affordable care, call Baldwin Denture Center.
Good morning to you, Gulf Coast. Here's a quick look outside our News 5 Skywatch camera, taking a look at the overcast skies down there at Orange Beach. So might be a good beach day maybe for a little bit. Thank you so very much for joining us. And with all that rain we've been getting, you might be thinking about getting rain gutters for your roof if you don't already have them. In this hour's Ask Danny, Lee asks, what advice can you give me for choosing gutters for my home?
Gutters are available in several different types of materials, and the most common, vinyl and aluminum. It's readily available at the home center, but they only come in 10-foot lengths, and that means a lot more seams. There's also steel guttering and probably the most expensive, copper. And your choice will depend on the type of house that you have and, of course, the budget. I prefer this, which is a professionally installed seamless aluminum gutter, because you can make a piece of guttering just about as long as you would need. And this is a key thing. It's the width of the guttering. It can be 3-inch, 4-inch, or 5-inch. I prefer to go up to a 6-inch so that it can handle any type of rain that you may get. And it's real important that your downspouts, when they're installed, that it's kicking that water away from your foundation. But no matter what kind of guttering you choose, you still got to keep them clean.
And for more good tips, check out today's homeowner.com.
Now, News 5 Sports.
In sports, the South Alabama Jaguars are still alive in the NCAA Regionals. After losing to Southern Miss in their opener, they took on Alabama State yesterday in an elimination game in Tallahassee. It was a close game heading into the 8th inning where it was all tied at 3. Then the Jags exploded for 3 runs to take the lead and hold on for the 6-3 win. Starter Randy Bell tossed a complete game for the win. The Jags will play Southern Miss again this morning at 11. The winner takes on unbeaten Florida State. The Auburn Tiger softball team continues their winning ways in the Women's College World Series of softball. Yesterday against Georgia, the Tigers were down 2 going into the final inning when they came up with 3 runs to take the lead. Strong pitching from Rachel Walters gave the Tigers the 4-3 win. Auburn plays tonight at 6 and are just 1 win away from advancing to the championship series. The news not so good for the Alabama Crimson Tide. They are out of the World Series after losing to LSU yesterday by the final of 6-4. This is the second year in a row LSU has ended Alabama's season. Congrats goes out to Fairhope's Grant Enfinger. He won the ARCA Series race Friday in Pocono, excuse me, leading the last 17 laps of the race. Mobile's Thomas Prater finished 20th. Enfinger was the ARCA Series champion last year, and this was the first race of the season on the ARCA circuit. The San Jose Sharks are making a series out of the Stanley Cup Finals after falling behind 2-0 against the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Sharks' Jonas Donskoy snapped a shot into the net to give the team a 3-2 win in overtime. San Jose had gone into overtime 4 other times in the playoffs and were winless until last night. Game 4 is tomorrow night in San Jose. Back here in Mobile, people were kicking each other for a title. It was the 28th annual U.S. Open Martial Arts Fighting Challenge for K-Warriors. The event highlighted the Sanshou fighting style, which started in Mobile more than 2 decades ago. The tournament was for all ages, but last night's main event is designed to search for future professional competitors.
Now, Melissa Constanzer with First Alert Weather.
6:47 and the rain, yeah, here it is, all streaming northward. Now, good news is we've seen a lot of these showers kind of weaken in intensity. So we did get the thunderstorms early this morning, shortly after midnight. But now things kind of just becoming light to moderate rainfall. And that's streaming largely up the Interstate 65 corridor, although Watch out. Parts of Georgia and Greene counties in Mississippi here starting to see some of that green pop up, as well as parts of Washington and Clark counties. The bigger view showing more moisture just streaming in from the Gulf. Again, it is starting to break up and weaken in intensity. However, I think we see this persist throughout much of the morning and midday time frame. As we head into the late afternoon, evening hours, things will slowly start to settle down. Dauphin Island getting a wet view this morning, temperatures in the 70s, and that's where we'll be going. We'll actually be going to the mid-80s as we head into the afternoon. Showers and thunderstorms likely through much of the day, and then we'll decrease those chances tonight. However, tomorrow there's still that risk for rain during the afternoon with highs in the mid-80s.
Thank you, Melissa. It's time once again for Faith Time, a weekly discussion on matters of faith. Father Elias Stevens of Annunciation Greek Orthodox Church of Mobile is joining us this morning. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you, Chad, for having me again.
All right, this week coming up, many of the Western churches have already observed this, but for the Orthodox churches this Thursday will be the observance of the Jesus' Ascension. Can you give us a brief overview of what that Bible story is?
Yeah, so you can see it, or you can read it in the book of Acts, or also in Mark and the Gospel of Luke. And so our Lord and Savior walked for 40 days with his apostles, and on the 40th day he appeared in Jerusalem again, and he told them that they should preach the gospel, and that they should stay in the city for 40 days until the Spirit on high clothed them again. And he ascended into heaven. And so it's a very powerful thing, because he took our humanity to heaven and deified it, and it sits at the right hand of the Father, and it was witnessed by the apostles. And so it's a glorious event of our Lord and Savior.
40 days seems to be an important number in the Bible. It's the amount of time Jesus was in the wilderness being tempted. Yeah. That's the amount of time between the resurrection and the ascension. Why 40 days? Why is that such a recurring theme?
Well, we'd have to ask the Lord why 40 days, but 40 is a beautiful number because it's 410, so it's a perfect cube. It's a perfect number, so it represents perfection.
Now, with Jesus leaving, that's also significant, because Jesus could have stayed if he wanted to. Why was it important for him to leave?
Another good question. And again, it goes back, and we were talking earlier that also with the 40 days, you had 40 days from his birth to being presented to the temple. You had 40 days from his baptism until the tempting of the devil, and then you had these 40 days. And so, again, it's showing that the Lord had completed his work here on earth, but it also was important to show that it was an illusion. So he stayed an additional 40 days, and he walked with them, he ate with them, he taught them. And so again, on this 40th day, he ascended into heaven, which is again the sign of completeness.
Now, after Jesus ascends, that puts, I guess, pressure in a sense on the disciples. They've got to take this ball and run with it. How were they able to take that message and those teachings and form the church as we understand it today?
The beautiful thing is they were able to do that because they had to wait another 10 days. They had to wait another 10 days to receive the Paraklite, the Holy Spirit. As those Holy Spirit came from on high, and he tells them to wait so they could be empowered by the Holy Spirit to do this ministry. Because we can't do it without the love of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and without his Holy Spirit, and without the Father.
Tell me about how your church and other Orthodox churches will be observing the ascension of Jesus this coming week, this coming Thursday. There's a feast involved.
Yeah, there's a feast day. So we will have great Vespers the night before, and then the next, and on the 9th, Thursday, we'll celebrate an Orthro service, which is a Matin service, and then we'll celebrate the liturgy of St. John Chrysostom.
And the other thing that I noticed about Jesus' ascension is one of the few times in the Bible, apart from Elijah being taken up by a chariot, that a living person is taken into heaven. Are there any parallels between those two stories in a way?
He's Elijah is a prefigurement as a Christ type, so there is. And so it's important that we see that, because our flesh, which was a part of that hypostatic union, but that Christ has 100% God and 100% humanity, that we see that taken into heaven, because it shows us that we have the opportunity to ascend to heaven as well.
All right, the ascension of Jesus being observed by Orthodox churches this coming Thursday. Father Elias Stevens with Annunciation Greek Orthodox Church here in Mobile. Thank you so very much for joining us for this edition of Faith Time. And
thank you for having me.
News 5 this morning will continue after the break.
WKRG News 5's First Alert Storm Team. Coverage you can count on.
Chevrolet is proud to be the most awarded car company over the last year, and right now is the best time to drive one home during Lou Saab Milton Chevy's massive Memorial Day sales event. Right now at Milton Chevy, find your bonus tag and get a total value of $9,000 on a Silverado Double Cab All-Star. You save $9,000. Our inventory is large and the savings are huge during the massive Memorial Day savings event going on now.
At Lou Saab's Milton Chevy.
Dolphin Way Assisted Living is a beautifully modern facility offering independent and assisted living at its finest. Located in the heart of Midtown, close to medical services and shopping, we offer oversized units with private bathrooms, large closets, and beautifully landscaped grounds. For a limited time, we're leasing as low as $1,800 a month. Call now to schedule a visit or come by our open house every Wednesday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. 3085 Dolphin Square Connector behind McConnell Automotive, or visit dolphinwayalf.com.
Lace up your running shoes and get ready for the inaugural Golf Quest Race to the River, a 5K and family fun run Saturday, June 18th. All proceeds benefit the Golf Quest National Maritime Museum. Stay for after-race festivities, including music, refreshments, and door prizes. Register at McCoy Outdoor, Run and Try, or Fleet Feet in Mobile, Running Wild in Fairhope, and at Golf Quest. So come on down to the riverfront and be a part of Golf Quest's first Race to the River. Visit golfquest.org for more info.
Andy and Barney and Aunt Bee and Opie and Comer and Goober and Floyd was the barber and Howard and Clara and Otis the drunken and Thelma Lou Helen and Ernest T. Batts.
Ain't that pretty? The Andy Griffith Show. Weeknights at 6:30 on WKRG News 5.
That's memorable, that's me. That's me. Me, you gotta see. That's memorable, that's me. Me, TV.
After a car wreck, demand Richard Mather. If you've been injured in a car accident, you need your lawyer to be two things. Someone you can talk to about your accident, and someone who will fight the insurance company to get the money you deserve. Nice to you and tough on them. So give me a call today, and we'll get started today. If you've been injured in a car wreck, demand Richard Mather. The consultation is free, so call 432-2580.
So you can't save money? That's easy as pie. Brown bagging lunch instead of going out. $6 save times 5 days a week times 10 years is $21,000. That's a lot of lettuce. Small changes today, big bucks tomorrow. Feedthepig.org.
Now, Melissa Constanzer with First Alert Weather.
6:56 on the Sunday morning. Rain lightening up. I think we're going to have between a 40 to 50% chance, 40 to 60% chance of rain as we go through the day. But you can see it's mostly moderate to light showers. We'll keep that through the middle of the day. Could see some more develop right during the early afternoon. But overall, things quieting down right now. However, there still is quite a few showers out there and still more to come at this time. Temperatures today in the mid-80s, showers and thunderstorms likely, and of course, next few days we are dealing with some more rain.
Thank you, Melissa. Coming up, we'll have more news in the next hour, including a politician who wants to ban Blue Angels. We'll tell you about it next.
Isn't money in your pocket better than scraps in the drawer? Luke says come to Fairhope Estate Jewelry and Coin Company and get paid for clearing your